Hi friends, welcome to MathsConcepts. In this video, we are going to learn about distributive property of whole numbers. In our earlier videos, we learned about closure property, commutative property and associative property. And we also solved few examples on commutative property and associative property. I'd suggest you to watch those videos as well to understand the properties of whole numbers in a better way. Okay. The links for those videos are given here in the top right corner and are also given in the description box. You can go through those videos. Now moving back to our current topic, that is distributive property. We have two cases here. First one is distributive property of multiplication over addition and second one is distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Okay, let's see first case. Let's consider one example to understand it. 5 friends went out for dining. They ordered one thali and one lassi each. If thali costs rupees 120 and lassi costs rupees 60, how much do they need to pay in all? Okay, here are two methods to solve this problem. First way, we add the cost of lassi and thali together for one person and then we multiply it by 5 to get the amount that needs to be paid by 5 friends. Okay, and in second method, we find the cost of thali for 5 friends, then cost of lassi for 5 friends and then add them together. So in first case, cost of thali and lassi together will be 120 plus 60, that is 180, multiplied by 5 will give me 900 rupees 900. And in second case, cost of thali will be 5 into 120, that is 600, and cost of lassi equal to 5 into 60, that is 300. So 600 plus 300 will give me rupees 900. So in both cases we get same answer. Okay, so from method 1 and method 2, can we say that 5 into bracket 120 plus 60 is same as 5 into 120 plus 5 into 60? Yes, definitely we can say that, because in both cases we got same answer, right? So when we multiply addition of two numbers, we can actually multiply those numbers separately and then add them together. Okay, and this is distributive property of multiplication over addition. We are actually distributing the multiplication over addition, and we can write it as a generic form like this: a into bracket b plus c equal to a into b plus a into c. Okay, now let's try to understand this same property using one more simple example. Okay, here I have written table of 3. We all know table of 3, and we also know that multiplication is nothing but repetitive addition. So I have written it in the form of addition as well. Okay, now I have taken one example from here, that is 3 into 5, 3 5s are 50, which can be written as addition of 3 5 times, right? So 3 into 5 is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, now on the left side I have written this 3 into 5 as 3 into 3 plus 2. Okay, in bracket 3 plus 2. 5 is written as 3 plus 2, and on the right side I have grouped these 5 3's into group of 3 and group of 2, which gives me 3 3's and 2 3's. Okay, so this is same as the generic form of distributive property, like a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c, right? So this is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now let's solve few examples for this. First one is 297 into 17 plus 297 into 3. Here on the both sides of plus sign we see there is one common number, that is 297. So we will bring that number to the left side and we will add 17 plus 3. This will make our calculations easy. Why? Because 17 plus 3 is 20, and multiplying 297 by 20 is much more easier than multiplying it by 17 and 3 separately and then adding them together. Okay, so this gives me answer as 5940, that is 5940. Okay, now let's consider second example. 3845 into 5 into 782 plus 769 into 25 into 218. Okay, now this example is bit tricky. In this case, there is no common number on both sides of multiplication, but we see that there are three numbers multiplied. Three numbers are multiplied here on both sides of plus side, right? So probably the multiplication of two numbers on both sides is same. Also, if you observe, 782 plus 218 gives me 1000. Addition of these two is 1000. So we probably should try multiplying first two numbers on both sides. Also, if I have to find out whether it is right or not, I can do the rough calculations by rounding off. Okay, so this 3845 rounded off to nearest thousands will be 4000 and multiplied by 5, and on the other side 769 rounded off to nearest hundreds will be 800 multiplied by 25. Okay, in first case 4000 into 5 will be 20,000, and in second case 800 into 25, that is 25 8s are 200, will also be 20,000. So this is correct. Our calculations would be right this way. Okay, so let's multiply first two numbers on both sides of plus sign, which will give me 19,225. Okay, 3,845 into 5 is 19,225. Similarly, 769 into 25 is 19,225. Okay, now we have got the same number on both sides of plus sign. We will bring it to the left and then we will add remaining numbers, that is 782 plus 218, which gives me 19,225 into 1000, and the answer would be 1,92,25,000. Okay, so this, instead of doing these complex multiplications, our work became much more easier because of distributive property. Okay, now third example, 738 into 103. Here we will have to represent one of the numbers as addition of two numbers, and definitely 103 is much more easier than 738, right? So 103 can be represented as 100 plus 3 and then multiplying it by 738. So we will multiply 738 by 100 and 738 by 3, which will give me 73,800 plus 2,214, and the final answer would be 76,014. Okay, so this was all about distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now let's see distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Similar to earlier case, let's consider one example here. A courier boy gets ₹60 for every undamaged delivered item and nothing for damaged item. Okay, out of 30 items delivered, if 5 items were damaged, how much amount courier boy must be paid? Here again there are two ways to find out the answer. One is to find out the number of items that were delivered undamaged, that is 30 minus 5, and then multiply it by 60. Okay, and second method is to find out the total amount that would have been paid for 30 items and then subtract the amount that needs to be deducted for 5 damaged items. Okay, so in first case, undamaged delivered items are 30 minus 5, that is 25, and then 25 multiplied by 60 will give me 1500, and in second case, total amount for 30 items would have been 60 into 30, that is 1800, and amount to be deducted for damaged items would be 60 into 5, that is 300. So 1800 minus 300 will give me 1500, the same amount, right? Again here from both this method 1 and 2, we can say that 60 into 30 minus 5 is same as 60 into 30 minus 60 into 5. Okay, and this is called distributive property of multiplication over subtraction, because we are distributing multiplication over subtraction. As a generic rule, we can write it as a into bracket b minus c equal to a into b minus a into c. Now again, let's consider the same example of 3's table to understand this in easier way. I have taken example of 3 into 3, which is adding 3 times. So adding 3 times can also be written as 3 times 5, that is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 minus 2 times 3, right? So here I have written 3 as it is and this 3 as 5 minus 2, okay, and here I have grouped these 3 as group of 5 minus group of 2 3's, which gives me 3 into 5 minus 3 into 2, okay, and this is generic form of distributive property of multiplication over subtraction, which is a into bracket b minus c is same as a into b minus a into c, okay. Now let's see few examples for this. First example, 81,265 into 169 minus 81,265 into 69. Here we see there is common number on both sides of subtraction, so we will bring it to the left side and then do subtraction in bracket 169 minus 69, which gives me 100, and the problem has become really easy to solve. 81,265 into 100 gives me 81,26,500, okay. Now next example is 3,845 into 25 minus 3,845 into 5. Again here there is a common number, we will bring it to the left and in bracket 25 minus 5, which will give me 20. Now multiply it by 20 and it gives me answer as 76,900, okay. Now the third example, 250 into 97. Now here I have to represent one of the numbers as subtraction of two numbers. Instead of representing 250 as subtraction of two numbers, it is easier to represent 97 as subtraction of two numbers, which is 100 minus 3. So we'll represent it as 100 minus 3, and which gives me 250 into 100 minus 250 into 3 because of distributive property. Now here it becomes easy, 25,000 minus 750, which gives me 24,250 as answer, okay. So this distributive property has made our calculations really easy, right? So all these properties of whole numbers, that is associative property, commutative property or distributive property, make our calculations easy and quick, okay. So this was all about distributive property of whole numbers. Here are few examples for you to solve. You can pause the video, write down the questions, write down the answers in your notebook and check all answers at the end of this video, that is right immediately after this, okay. So here are answers to all the questions. I hope you got all of these correct. If not, you can watch the video again, understand the concept well. If you have any doubts, queries, you can write them in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as possible, okay. Alright then, thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos.